Next item we mentioned earlier, but I didn't get a motion. Division of Historic Preservation grant for the Armory has come in and been signed by the chairman. Board action to authorize Warren Emo to finish the design associated with the $350,000 of historic preservation work and to direct him to place ads in the paper for construction bids. The bids will contain all the work funded by TDC and Historic Preservation, and we will be scheduling the bid opening for January 20th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Jackal, second by Commissioner Massey. Do we have any discussion?
Yeah, now how much the total will be with both monies?
I believe, Commissioner, that the construction estimate was around $700,000, is my remembrance. There was some contingency money in there, and obviously there was some, engineering design money. But as I recall, the construction estimate was around $670,000, $700,000.
Originally, go ahead.
What I'm talking about, how much money we gonna have to spend at one time?
You should have that $700,000.
We have the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
To finish the whole thing.
It's all set aside and earmarked from the TDC.
Originally, when Mr. Warren came down here last time, we were looking at getting started in October of this year. That is not going to work now?
That did not work because we wanted to bid everything at one time, and
Okay.
Historic Preservation was slow in getting the grant.
Yeah, we didn't get the money from the
Okay.
state of Florida.
And I have to tell y'all now,
But we're glad to get it.
let's go back in memory. We have submitted so many times for a historic preservation grant for that armory, and I am so glad to finally have gotten it. Because all these years we've submitted it.
Well, they defunded, the
Yeah,
historic
they funded
preservation program, and finally the state of Florida's doing a little bit better, and they're throwing some money in that funding pot.
Well,
So
and
we
fi-
should,
yeah.
be able to we should apply for historic grants because we got so many historic places in the county, every funding cycle.
Well, and if you'll remember, my first lesson is coming up here in 1999, beginning of 1999, was by Governor Bush at that time, when we were asking for the building of the prison, Franklin Correctional Institute. And he said, before you ask the state to do anything, Franklin County, you need to help yourself. So that's what we did with the armory. We put TDC funds into it. So that way, I think that helped us to be able to get the grant we did. So I'm just happy that we finally got a historic preservation grant for the armory.
Came at a good time.
Yeah, actually, the time was
good.
perfect, because this way we get to
Perfect.
finish the project all at one time.
We need to thank them or something. Okay, Alan, go ahead.
Actually, as a side, when we finally get...
Did we do a final vote on that?
We need to vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
But you're right, Madam Chair, you actually raised a good point. When we finally get done, I'm sure there needs to be a dedication, and we'll invite the historic preservation people down. All right. Number 6, board action approved final change order for Oak Street paving and Bayshore paving.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Jackal, seconded by Commissioner Massey. Any discussion?
Alan, you didn't put the details of what the change orders are in this motion. You usually do. I know we have to do them, and I imagine they're within the scope of the work, but
I can tell you what they are.
if you could just outline those a little bit for us.
Yeah, I was
apologize.
going to ask the same question.
The change order number 1 for Bayshore Drive was additional cost for 3 inches of milling and installation of open grade asphalt to address cracking issues along North Bayshore, replacing a large drain there, 30-inch concrete drain there. The total change order was, the cost of the change order, apologize, was $134,000.
Well, I don't really understand why that's a change order, because we had extensive discussions before that project began that culvert was bad there
I would have
at
to,
Indian Creek.
I understand, unless it was more head wall or more work
Yeah.
done than just replacing it. I know they extended the head walls out.
It was a big
3 feet.
job.
It was a big job.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me what the change order is
But-
on Oak Street.
But the money's in the budget.
Yes, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
costing county any money. The
Okay.
money's in the budget, yes.
Okay.
Tell me what the change order is on Oak Street.
And the change order on Oak Street is additional cost replacement of double cross drains.
I knew it, at that big culvert there at the fire department.
Yeah, now this change order is admittedly only an $8,619 cost.
Oh, well, that's good. It wasn't no $134,000.
No.
So,
But yes.
that's good. All right, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. Do we have any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, this next item I have not talked to the county attorney about yet. This is something that has been sort of stalled by DOT in all the counties, I believe. Inform the board that DOT has sent a revised traffic safety maintenance agreement to every county in the state and asked that it be signed. The agreement has been called an interim agreement as there are still issues unresolved between some of the counties and DOT. And my action right now recommended is for board action to have the county attorney review the agreement and make a recommendation. This is on those traffic safety devices that we can test when we don't.
Like the flashing light at the school?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. The county attorneys have continued to discuss this without any particular resolution from DOT, so I would recommend that the board accept Mr. Pierce's recommendation to you. Let me get this into my possession.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to approve to have the county attorney look at it on Alan Pierce's recommendation. We have a motion by Commissioner Pierce, seconded by Commissioner Lockley. Any discussion? Not being any discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next item. At the last meeting, the board asked me to submit a proposal regarding my continued employment by the board. I appreciate the statements made by the commissioners, and my announced retirement has brought forward to the forefront two issues. One, the position I hold has significant responsibilities over a broad range of areas, and two, there needs to be a realistic transition time for my replacement to learn the job. On the first issue, over the years, the position I hold for the board has developed into one where I have to have knowledge and competence in a broad number of areas, not just a single department. The position I hold requires that I be able to ask questions and understand responses from senior government officials at state and federal levels, and oftentimes without immediate consultation with the board. I also interface with the public and news media, again, also without sometimes immediate consultation with the board. The position requires that I be able to articulate board positions and policies on a wide range of topics so the board, when they do meet, can make the appropriate decisions. Therefore, I request a compensation of $82,000 a year, effective October 1 of this year. On the second issue of transition, while I appreciate the board's intention to make me feel young, time continues to move on. The board needs to move forward with hiring my replacement. With the above-mentioned change in compensation, I will alter my retirement plans to this extent. I'll be out of the office for 2 weeks in May, and then I'll be out of it for an extended time in July, August. The board needs to hire my replacement and have them in place so that I can work with that person for at least 6 months in the January to June time period when I am in the office. This would also coincide with a normal 6-month probationary period for a new employee. When I'm out of the office, I'll be in touch via cell phone and iPad. This transition period would terminate on September 30th, 2015. So the person needs to be able to operate independently at that time. After September 30th, I'll be available only if contacted by my replacement for the board. And so that's my proposal to you all, and I solicit board approval.
Alan, I'm gonna say something. I think, and I know you say it's the board's decision to have to do it, but, and I see your application, you know, you got 15 applications down here on the next item.
Right.
I do not feel comfortable interviewing for this position without you having some kind of input into it. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm telling you, it's just like you said, you've worked with us commissioners for a long time, and you know what is required. So therefore, I would like, if the board chooses to take your recommendation as far as, or your proposal, I would like for you to be able to take whatever applications we have and look through them and see who you feel like would be the best blend. And narrow it down to 5 or narrow it down to 3 or whatever, and then come back, because you've been here an awful long time and you know what is needed for this position. I know you don't want to interfere into it, and you want the board to make that decision. The board will make that decision ultimately, but you have such insight into what the needs are, just like us commissioners do.
Yeah, you wear a lot of different hats.
Yeah, he does, and that's what he said.
And I thought we was going to extend this out like 4 to 6 weeks longer at the last meeting
I thought we was too.
and move it from 55 to 57 and based. I think we brought that up at the last meeting because I've had 2 or 3 calls that they read or heard that we was going to extend it out for 4 to 6 weeks longer,
Well, I would like to see it 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, we had discussion, but there was no motion, so until you all vote on
No, I
something.
said we had discussed
No,
it.
but we're
Right.
discussing. I'm running this meeting and we're having discussion right now.
I mean,
So-
because some had called me yesterday and told me, I heard where y'all was gonna move it 3 to 4 weeks longer. You know, one of them was out of town and didn't get to put in, and
But what I'm saying is, as far as the person that we may get, whether the board takes your,
Right.
proposal or not, anyone who we are looking at to possibly take the position, I would like for you to screen them and just to see, because, I mean, we as board members, we could probably do that, and we'll probably, know what your job entails, because we give you those, or we charge you with those things to do, or delegate it to you. But still, I would feel a little bit more comfortable if you were to make recommendations.
Well, Madam Chair, I appreciate the support and confidence you have in me in this issue. I mean, the person that is replacing me ultimately will work for you all, so I certainly don't mind giving you some recommendations, but I need to only narrow it down to a field of 5 or so,
Right, that's
and
what I'm
let you
saying.
all go from there.
That's right.
You all need to make the final decision you're comfortable working with.
Well, we're going to, but we need somebody in there that can field it down to 5. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And that knows, I mean, because you know every one of our personalities, and you know how, and you know how we are, and you know what is, and the main important thing is you know what is needed to get the job done. And it's like I said at the last board meeting, you have to have somebody that knows how to handle the government officials, both federal and state. You need to have somebody that is a people's person. They have got to be able to work with people, because you've got right at 12,000 people in this county right here that you've got to work with on a day-to-day basis. And, but anyway, let's go back to what the proposal is that Alan is presenting. And
Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if I might, I'd like to make a recommendation that we accept Alan's proposal to work for us one more year and include your comments of him going over the applications and narrowing that down for us. I agree with you there.
good.
To me, that would kind of eliminate some of the, political issues that we would all have with somebody in our district and they vote for us, but it's not about that. It's about getting the right person in here
That's right.
for the people of the county, which we all serve. And I agree with that. As far as extension, we'll address with that with another motion, but my motion right now covers accepting his proposal and also, as he's leaving us, he's going to be with us one more year, and now he's going to leave, and we're going to give him something else to do. which is review these applications and narrow them down and bring back to the board the best qualified applications that we have there.
Absolutely. We have a motion on the floor to accept Alan's proposal by Commissioner Parrish.
Second.
Do we have and we have a second by Commissioner Lockley. Do we have any more discussion on the matter before we vote on this part of it? No, not being any more discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
now I'll make the motion to run it 3 to 4.
Motion carried.
Okay,
Okay,
3 to
go
4
ahead.
weeks and move it from 55 to 57.
Okay, you make a motion to
Extend it,
advertise to
advertise for
extend.
3 or 4 more weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and
Okay,
move it from 55 to in between 55 and 57 to payroll.
okay, and then, okay, we need a.
Well, it's
okay.
not at 55,
Yeah.
it's at 50
50, okay,
Yes.
50 to 57.
right now.
Okay, so go from, instead of 45 to 50, go to 50 to 57.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he said 55, 57.
Well, I thought it was 50, but it was 50
Okay, so
on
we'll
there
go,
before, okay,
we're-
yeah.
not to go no higher than
It's
57.
no higher than 57.
We have,
Okay.
Then you're gonna extend it for,
3 weeks, 3, 4 weeks?
3, 4 weeks,
4
let's-
weeks,
make it,
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Madam
weeks.
Chair, may I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Why don't we leave the 45 there and move the maximum to what Mr. Commissioner,
Yeah.
would you be agreeable with that?
Yeah.
Leave the 45 there as the minimum, and then
57.
yeah, if that's where
Okay.
you want the maximum to be.
Fifty-four.
And then as we look at different
Right.
applications and look at their qualifications, and the board can decide at the time we decide to hire somebody, and with recommendation from Alan of what that salary should be in between those two numbers.
Okay, so
Okay.
we have a motion by Commissioner Massey to extend the advertisement period for the county coordinator's position 4 more weeks. and to bump up the max pay 57.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second by Commissioner Lockley. Do we have any discussion?
I have some discussion. I, would like to vote with the board on this, but I'm not going to because I feel like a couple of things. First of all, we had significant advertisement time for the job. We've been discussing Alan's exit for all during the summer, off and on. And on another note, I feel like there was plenty of notice to the public for anybody that wanted to apply. We have 15 applications. So obviously the word was, was well spread. On another note, we set the salary at 45 to 50 depending on qualifications. And I understand that y'all said that the extension of the salary range would be depending on qualifications, but we're increasing Alan's job almost $20,000. So it's really going to be around $30,000 by the time, or plus 30, by the time you add benefits, retirement, etc., to that position. And then you come in, I was hoping to find somebody in the 45 range as a trainee, so to speak, for 1 year. By the time you add benefits and all that, we're spending an additional $100,000 in Alan's department that currently is not budgeted. And so that is my justification for not bumping up, because Alan has been in this position, what, 25 years?
26 years.
26 years. And his current salary is $63,800, is that correct?
64,400, I think.
Okay, but you just got bumped up
Right.
recently. Before then it was around 63. And if you talk about raising it up to 57, then you're talking about, obviously, there's someone in mind for this process at a higher salary range, because I've heard, some rumbling about that. So if you hire at a higher salary range, then basically you're rewarding somebody that, on a pretty big scale, that took Alan 26 years to get just beyond $62,000. And in that regard, you're only $5,000 away from his salary of 25 years. So I think that it's a good job. It's got great benefits. Not only beyond the salary and the health insurance and the retirement benefit, I feel like there's a great benefit in working for all of the commissioners and the citizens of Franklin County. And so I just don't think we leave ourselves very much room. I think we're spending a lot more money that we don't have budgeted, and it gives that person the ability to work into, depending on how they do, it keeps them at a trainee level salary. In fact, really, what I would think that we could do at this point is hire someone for less money than what we've even advertised, and let them, after their 6 months probation, review their situation and go beyond, what they're hired in at. So while I see the need of what you're doing, I disagree with the whole process.
As far as me, it ain't nobody in mind. I just know we had said it at the last meeting that we was going to do it. Alan said if we get somebody more qualified that he thought was good.
Yeah, well, we said we'd see what we'd do after Alan brought back his proposal, but now that we're spending, additional $30,000 to keep Alan for an additional year.
Oh, we can let him go. We can let him go, but I just feel
But
like,
no, I'm not for doing that. That's not what I said. I just, that,
Yeah, it is.
no, it's not. It's what I stated, what my objections to the system
and
is.
I appreciate your comments, Commissioner Jackal, but I did not appreciate when you said that it made it feel like it was a forethought. That we had someone in mind for this position. I have no one in mind for this position. I don't even know who all the applications are. And to say that, I think, would be a little bit disrespectful to this board down year, and that kind of concerns me.
Well, I apologize if you feel that's disrespectful to you. I certainly do apologize.
Because I do not have, I have not got a preformed opinion on any of them. That's the reason why I asked Alan to look at all the applications. I mean, I would never say that to nobody.
And
I would never say that to any of the
Well,
commissioners.
Madam Chairman, that's exactly why I wanted the minimum left at 45. You know,
Yeah.
if y'all want to, the board
Yeah.
as a whole wants to move the maximum up, but leave the minimum where it was, because we don't know who we're gonna get and what their qualifications
Well,
may
and
be.
that's what I'm saying.
That's the reason I didn't want to raise the minimum. So I don't have anybody in mind myself, or like the statement I just made. I want the best person to serve the people of Franklin County and this board. It's not about where they live in a certain commissioner's district or that has no bearing for me. For me, I want the best person to take over what Alan's done for the last 26 years, and that is to work for the people of Franklin County.
And it's gonna be very hard to find someone that has the knowledge that Alan has.
Well, you're not going to find anybody. It's going to have
Very
to,
hard.
it's going to have, that's why that year of training is very
It's gonna be years
good.
before they get where Allen's at.
Well,
They're never gonna get where
No, that's
Alan's
what I'm
at.
saying, if they got there, it'd be 25,
They're lucky they
26.
won't.
when stuff like this,
If they do, we won't be here to see them.
when stuff like this
No, I won't
come up,
worry about it, I'll be in the Evergreen.
when stuff like this come up, I check the surrounding counties with about like our capacity standard. And we getting away with a whole lot because we got St. Joe, which is Gulf County, you got Wakulla, one to the east, one to the west. And both of them start the administrators off with about $100,000.
Yeah, they do.
Well, their population's a lot bigger than ours too.
Well, not that
Wakulla
much
County's
big.
about 80,000.
They money not be
Well,
about the same.
and I've always been a firm believer in you get what you pay for, you know, and that's one of the things.
I'm
But-
not saying
and we
one's
got
gonna get
we-
57, I
we
just said
got-
put it in there in case you got one that's good. He said, I'm not gonna stay unless I get a couple more of you, you know what I'm saying, whoever he does. Because I don't know but two people on the whole application.
Okay, is there any more discussion on this matter, on the motion at hand? Michael, would you read back the motion, please?
I'm sorry, ma'am. The motion by Commissioner Matthews, second by Commissioner Lockley, necessitating the deadline for the application for 4 weeks. Can I ask for today, from the 10th?
It would be from the date of the advertising.
Okay.
And I would just recommend to the board that it be a minimum of 30 days advertising. And my question to the board, and that would commence from the date of the publication. So it'd be 30 days going forward from the date of the publication. But I would ask the board, do you want to advertise in the same forum or expand the areas that you were advertising in?
I would say in the same form that we've been.
Okay.
You've got FAC.
Right, I mean, the
and
FAC
all.
website is the site that people go to work for governments,
Yeah,
county governments.
Yeah, we
I wasn't sure if it had been on the FAC website.
Oh, yeah, it has been for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, that was going to be
Yeah.
my recommendation.
All right,
And
and
change the salary range,
45 to
to-
57.
Yeah.
no higher than
No higher than 57.
57,000, yeah. All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have any more discussion on the matter? Not being any more discussion on the matter, all those in favor? All those opposed?
I oppose.
Motion carried, show that Commissioner Jackal opposed.
Okay, I have one more item, hopefully it won't be too controversial, but in lieu of what I asked for myself, I would like to have the board consider a change in salary range for Angie Dean and Roxy Allen at $1,200 each, increase their salaries annually. They both have worked very hard, and Roxy has never had a raise in the 7 years she's been back here. She missed the window, got hired after that, and Ms. Dean is a janitor.
Pleasure of the board.
How long has Ms. Dean been janitor?
Approximately a year and a half.
She worked out the school for how long?
That could have been like 20 years or so, I don't
Yeah.
know at the school.
And then she's received the raises that the other county employees have received since she's been here?
She has received one raise, yes, ma'am.
Which, how much was that, 1,400 or?
1,100, I think she got.
Okay. Pleasure of the board. Pleasure of the board. All right.
Okay.
board didn't want to deal with it.
All right. The last item I have is, just, Madam Chairman, if you want to talk about, the chairman and I went to a conference on Ebola. Let you know the county health department is working forward, making sure the county is safe and prepared for Ebola. It's an issue that the state of Florida feels ultimately may come to, not to Franklin County, but to the state of Florida at some point because of all our tourist population, and there is a plan in effect, and the health department is the lead agency in every county on that issue. So we are monitoring that.
Did you submit that information that you had for board record?
I did not, but I have it.
But you need to go ahead and submit it for board record so they'll know that we went and participated. All right. Anything for Alan from the board members?
Real quick, Alan, did you say you received an update on when they were going to get started on that culvert on Bluff Road?
Yes, sir.
Would you give the public an update on that?
Yes, the Bluff Road project, which has been so long in completion, the DOT finally approved the head walls. They should start construction on Monday.
I get constant
Yes.
questions about that.
And by doing the head walls, they'll then come back in and pave over that area.
Finish that project
Finish that
up.
project. That's correct.
Everybody will be tickled to death, including me.
Are they going to be putting another coat on there, another lift on?
Not on the whole road, but just on the,
Just on-
just
Is
on the
that
culvert
part of
area.
it where the
yes.
culvert is?
Yeah.
Bless your heart, Smokey.
Maybe we get this thing wrapped up for the people that live
You
out
had a
there.
time with it.
And one more, well, go ahead. I'll deal with that in
Go
commissioner
ahead,
comment.
go ahead.
I'll deal with it in commissioner comment.
Okay. Okay. All right, if there's nothing else for Alan,
I just got one thing.
okay.
Um,
Mr. Jackal?
I don't see Clay Smallwood here today. I was hoping he would be here, but I need to get with you and Clay on that Bayshore Drive and Twin Lakes paving project. They're, starting to make some of the last applications, and I've gotten some calls about complaints about driveways and how
Okay,
they're being put back.
okay.
And I just need to get with y'all, so if you can contact him, please. I was hoping he'd be here, but he's
Yeah, he-
probably on the job or out there.
He sent me an email this morning. I can't remember the subject, but I know he was out somewhere.
Okay, all right, thank you.